Today's episode is coming to you from the iconic Icon Stadium on Randall's Island, home of the second annual Athlo NYC, a groundbreaking women's track and field event created by my brother-in-law, Alexis O'Hagan. We've got three of the fastest women alive joining us today. Our next track queen is a powerhouse of focus and faith, a world champion sprinter who helped Team USA to 4x100 gold.
I see you have a little hardware for us. We love jewelry, so.
I do.
Say hello to Melissa Jefferson-Wooden.
All right, everyone. So we are back with Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I see you have a little hardware for us. We love jewelry. So
I do.
Yes.
Congratulations, by the way. You swept the World Championships. This
Thank
is
you.
what is the phrase? A triple?
So I completed the sprint triple.
The sprint triple.
Yeah, which is the 100, the 200, and the 4x1.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That must have felt amazing.
Oh, it was. Yes, it was amazing. It was like a dream come true. And just looking back from where I started at, writing down my goals, and for everything that I wrote down, for it to actually happen, it was just like, wow.
And how long have you been doing that? When did that process start for you?
I would say I started it back my sophomore year of college. The way that I did and went about it is just because I wanted to get out of the habit of just participating or being a participant. Like I actually wanted to, set myself apart from everyone else, like actually strive to want to be, one of the best.
Right.
And I feel like in sitting down and writing goals is how I got to that.
And I don't remember if you remember, Dad used to always say he used to make us write our goals down when we were really young. So we would just literally write things down. He always say there's a nerve in your eye that connects to your hand, that connects to your brain. When you write it down, it makes it feel more real. And every time I wrote down my goals, I could go back and I could vision it and I could see it. And it was just all these exercises we did.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I feel like we had an aunt and she said, I don't want to participate in my life. I want to live it.
Yeah.
Like you said, hey, I got to control this. I can actually choose my outcome. I'm not going to just wait and watch. Is that kind of how you were feeling?
Yes, and within reason too. Also, being that I went to a smaller school, so obviously I didn't have like the fastest times coming out of high school. And so the goals that I set for that time was for that level that I was at that time. And then once we got to where that was, it was like, okay, let's step it up a notch. And I remember the first time I got a chance to go to the NCAA meet outdoors, and that's when it really started like, okay, no, I don't want to just be a participant anymore, because I feel like I got so caught up in just being at the meet, and I went out the first round in both events. Wow. And I was like, I don't ever want to feel like that
So when you're
again.
saying caught up at being at the meet, like you just got overwhelmed at the competition.
Or just being excited
Yeah,
to
it was like,
compete.
oh my gosh,
Did
like
that
I
happen
made
to
it
you?
here.
Never.
In Quebec City in 2015?
Oh, okay. I was excited to compete. I think when we played doubles once.
Yeah.
Like early on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was young and it was really exciting.
Yeah.
In Quebec, I didn't want to compete. I was so scared. But yeah, it was really exciting.
Yeah.
Well, we've all been there. Like if you're an athlete, you've been there where you kind of had to tell yourself, wait a minute, this has got to change. This isn't working.
Oh, yeah.
But that's life too, right? Where you have to say, hey, this has to change. This isn't working. What do I really want? How do I get there? And you have to really look at yourself.
Did you always want to be a track and field athlete?
And was that natural for you, or you just wanted to
Like sport in general,
play,
or just
in terms of just moving your body, or just like to run, or did you like the competition part?
I like the competition part of it. I like being able to go out there, and if I was picked to win, if I wasn't picked to win, or just, to see everybody in the community come around and watch the kids come out and, play with each other or compete against one another and say, like, who do you think is going to win today? Like, I liked being a part of that. So.
Yeah, I like that. We briefly ran track and field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't work out for us.
It didn't work out
the way
for
it
us.
did
It worked
for
out
you.
for you. You were really good.
You were good too.
I was a sprinter, as you can probably tell.
Yeah.
And she was,
I
you
was
did long
also,
distance.
I was a sprinter, a
But
little
you
bit
did
longer.
400.
400 and 200, but I was like,
Oh, so you did
This
one,
was-
two.
you know.
I did like the 50 and the 100.
Oh, yeah.
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 But we were like 10 and 11. So
Oh, okay.
let's put the ages out there. And it didn't work out, so we did the tennis thing. But I think track is like the best way to train an athlete. It really is, to have that explosive movement and to really just be able to explode to the ball. So I wish we would have kept going, actually.
So what makes you wake up the next day after you've won 3 medals and say, I should keep going?
So for me, winning isn't just about, you know, the hardware. It's about what time I ran. It's about the impact I can have on someone. And so like this year going out to Tokyo 3 weeks ago now, and I completed the sprint triple, made history in doing so, but I'm like, no, I want to do it again, but I want to do it even better than I already did.
So are you still bathing in that celebration, or are you thinking about the next thing?
To be honest, I don't think any of it has hit me yet. Like the fact that I sat there and was like, I made history, I'm just, in my mind, I'm just talking. Like it didn't really happen for real. But I also feel like that's the thing that kind of keeps me going and looking forward, is that I don't know how to just take it in. I leave that up to everybody around me to, you know, celebrate me or talk about what I've accomplished and achieved. But I'm focused on, you know, what else I want to do, what else I want to accomplish.
I think that's interesting too, because when you're an athlete or when you're trying hard to achieve something, it's not just about that moment you achieve it. It's all the work that went into getting there. And you know that if you want to do it again, you can't just sit still.
Right.
You're like already thinking about like, what's that next thing? I know I can do it better. And I just remember I was playing this match once and the girl was playing so well and so hard. But when I was losing the match, and I thought to myself, it's not that I'm losing, it's just I'm not getting the best out of me. And I remember in that match, I was able to turn it around because I just wanted to play better because I knew I could. And it wasn't about winning, it was just about me doing better. And that's what it's really about, like getting all you can, because then you can look in the mirror at night after that.
I think everyone's different. For me, it was only about winning.
Really?
And it was only about the hardware. It wasn't about getting the best out of me. If the best out of me wasn't winning, then we weren't getting along.
Yeah.
And I just feel like...
So you wasn't getting along with you?
We were not getting along with each other. But isn't it interesting that everyone has different perspectives? Because that was my... If I walked away without a trophy, it was a complete, utter failure. Not just a failure, it was like a total, utter failure.
But I think in a lot of ways, we're all saying the same thing, right? We can't accept second. It hurts too much. But I was so focused on...
We know how much you don't like second.
I don't deal with it. And trust me, I could tell you stories.
We're not going to go there today, though.
Yeah, we're not. But for me, I was more focused on how do I get the right process so I can repeat this every single time so that way I can win. So it wasn't about winning for me. It was like, am I doing it right?
Yes.
Because I'm doing it right, I'll win.
I can definitely agree with that because I feel like my whole 2025 season was based on just that, trying to make sure that I was doing it right. I started out the first meet of the year thinking like, oh, did I take too much time in planning this wedding? Like, am I really where I want to be? Am I doing the things, or was I doing the things to prepare me for this first meet, but then also shaking off the cobwebs because I hadn't ran since the Olympic Games, which was 6 months ago. So I got out there in the 200 and the gun goes off and I get out, I'm off the curve, I'm in first. And then next thing you know, I get passed by Gabby, and then my body had just like completely shut down. It was like, I got to maybe about 170 and started swimming like this, and I'm thinking to myself, like, why is this happening? Like, what is going on? But just that it was one of those things where I looked at myself and was like, what you had just wasn't enough, and I wasn't okay with that. Like, that hurt. I didn't like losing. Like, I got third place that day. I still ended up winning the overall meet, but it was like...
So what did you change then to not be in that position again?
The way I approached doing certain things in practice. So I started to focus more on my execution. So when I got back to practice, for 3 weeks straight, I did nothing but focus on how I was executing my races. And then I just carry that over into the rest of the season.
So for me, I had a moment like that at the French Open. I'd never lost in the first round of a Grand Slam, and I lost in the first round to this lady. And
I remember I saw that match. I threw my phone.
Yeah,
I was madder than you.
It was horrible. But as much as I hated losing that match, that was one match that propelled me to win 4 Grand Slams in a row. And if I had never have lost that, I wouldn't have done that.
And did I lose to you?
No, no, you didn't.
Thank God.
But it was so important, and I think a lot of people look at failure as a negative thing, but I don't think failure is necessarily negative if you look at it as a learning perspective and a learning opportunity. And so failure
is only negative if you don't
You don't learn
if
from
you don't
what went
learn
wrong.
from it.
Yeah.
If you're too afraid
Yeah.
to let go of the failure. Failure is just a data point.
Yep.
Okay, that's an entry. Move forward.
So
now
then
I know what to do.
You can just move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a move forward moment.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting. Don't look at failure as like, oh, this sucks and I was so bad. No, 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 no. Change that and just say, why did it suck? Why was I bad? How can I improve? And it's not limited to sport. This is like literally in life. It could be in relationships. It can be in school. It can be in businesses. Like it's so important, I think, that to hear that message.
It's not about running away from it. It's about running toward it.
Yep.
When you see the failure, you don't like lock it away, never look at it again. You look it straight at it like, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's a gift. So something very interesting that a lot of people know about or don't know about is that your father had a very serious blood disease and you donated your own bone marrow to help him get through that. Can you tell us about that experience? Because as an athlete too, like that's a serious surgery.
Yep.
It's a very big surgery.
Yeah, so it happened when I was 17 years old. So I was a senior in high school, just started my senior year. And like you said, his disease was very serious. It basically could develop into leukemia. And the best way to go about it was to do a bone marrow transplant. And they had gone through potential matches before, but came up short once doing further testing. And I was the best and preferred match. But the one thing they did ask me, they was like, do you want to do this? Like, you don't have to do this, but do you want to do it? And I'm like, of course I'm going to do it. Like, you're my dad. I want you around for a long time. So it was almost as if I was getting a blood transfusion done. I had 2 IVs hooked up in both arms.
Wow.
And so once they got however much they needed for that day, it was a 2-day process. They literally took my stem cells over to my dad, who was in the other tower in the hospital, and hooked it up, and it was good.
Wow. So less invasive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. It must have been very scary though at the time.
It was. I think if anything, like we realized, so I grew up in the church and my family is very, faith-based. So that part of it wasn't, we found comfort in that part. But ever since then, like I haven't had any problems. He hasn't had any problems dealing with, his bone marrow, anything like that. He's still 100% donor cells today. So I like to call him my twin now because we have the same stem cells. But yeah, it's been great.
I'm so happy that it had a happy ending.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that he's doing good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Should we ask a few fun questions before we wrap?
You have any like fun Olympic Village stories or tea?
Oh, so crazy enough, I should, but I don't, because I started out in the village and then the village got really overwhelming. So I said,
How so?
I gotta go.
Like
It was just
noise?
everybody's there. Like
Yeah.
everybody's just there. There's one big cafeteria. The
And also
food
it's a
was not good.
twin bed. Didn't they give you a twin bed?
Twin bed on cardboard box.
Yeah, I
Like-
couldn't. I couldn't.
So I ended up moving. I was like in and out the village. I had a hotel room, but then I also still had my room at the village. So I would go there. I took half of my clothes from the village to the hotel room. And then when those clothes got dirty, I took them back to the village to get washed and then switched them out.
Yeah, for us, the tennis team had like 1 or 2 rooms, and so the players could come and like stay just for the experience. But and also a lot of times our event was like somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it didn't work. Also, a question we like to ask everyone too is, don't date and you don't have to worry about this anymore because you've got the ring on it. But don't date them if fill in the blank.
Okay, don't date them if every time they want to see you, they be like, are you going to come see me?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
We
That's
are
a
getting
good
some
one.
good ones today.
That is a good
That
one.
is a really good one.
In fact, it's not in my schedule until after I die.
Oh,
That's what you have to answer. Like, after I die, I'll be able to see. Come to my grave.
Right.
I
you
have
know?
a good one. Don't date them if they only want to text and they don't want to talk.
Yeah.
That's like a red flag.
Yeah.
If it's just only text, it's
Yes.
like, okay, they're
Yeah.
avoidance.
Mm-hmm.
Don't date
Um,
them if they like take days to text you back. By that time, I've forgotten about you anyway. Like, oh,
Right.
you? Who are you? You know?
Like,
Yeah.
don't
I didn't
just-
save your number.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming. And
Thank
we really
you.
enjoyed having you. And
Congrats on everything. Congrats on your marriage. Congrats
you.
on everything this year. And congrats on everything to come. Wishing you like health, happiness, and
wins.
and
Yes.
win.
Championship.
Thank you.
Medals.
Thank you so much.